Learning how to be movie stars.
All right, that's a cool. It's a cool people. Mr. Jason, it's what? What?
We got to cover the thing. So,
oh yeah, we're here in the studio, which is really weird. We're not used to sitting next to each other,
right?
And what happens is you end up looking down here at this monitor, but then it looks terrible,
right?
So we have to look at the camera, or we have to
look at each other.
It's called blocking.
We're learning how to be movie stars.
Yes, one of Jason's, the women that work for Jason says, "You guys making movies today?"
It's her name's Julie.
Julie, I know. That's what I said.
Craig.
She's asked if we're making movies. Yeah.
Let's dive into the question that I have no idea what you're going to ask, and I actually don't.
So
makes it fun.
So, one of my team members was on. Ooh, you did a little nose spray on my arm there. one of my team members, all of my team members were on the daily drills call. Okay.
Okay.
And now you're getting more. You're like, oh no, what's he going to talk about? So Major Miguel, who runs the daily drills, was doing whatever. He's doing what he's doing. And I think it's important to recognize that this is a coaching environment. So in a coaching environment, things aren't sugar-coated. This is all about progress and learning, right? And we call it daily drills. It's like boot camp.
It's the boot of the camp. Yes.
Right. And so one of my staff apparently got their ego bruised by probably being called out on something and said that the way that they were doing it wasn't awesome or whatever. And so It comes back to me, this whole thing through the grapevine. And I think that it's important to distinguish that when we're like in a employee review, okay, now it's time to really be supportive. There's a different way to talk to somebody when you're in an employee review setting.
Yes.
Or maybe even a corrective action setting. But
yes.
When you're in a coaching environment, it's you have permission at that time to be critical, right? You're giving feedback.
Right.
About
hopefully constructively.
Right, constructively, but still it's not. I think it's a little looser.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, you can be a little harder. It's kind of like if you had a fitness coach and you're in the gym and they start yelling at you to run harder and stuff. Well, they're not going to do that if you go out to dinner with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in that environment, it's okay to do that. And I definitely agree with you on that. Maybe that's something to be, Mr. Greg, maybe that's something to be talked about too, is like, hey, I mean, we need to preface everything that we're going to talk about and going into these things as I'm going to give you my harsh feedback of what can help take you to the next level.
We're going to get raw. We're going to get real.
Get raw and get real.
Well, how effective would it be at the gym if you said, like, you're over there and I'm your coach or whatever, and I say, hey, Jason, you may want to consider going up 5 pounds, just like, that's not, it doesn't push you.
Right.
This is
100%.
And this is salespeople being coached by salespeople. So I think that you need to have a little more oomph. Right?
You keep looking down.
I do? I didn't think oh no, my eyes look real shifty on this camera. So
he's a shifty guy.
I think that I remember being coached in sales, and it wasn't easy. It was tough because you have to be open to it, right? That's the thing. If you go in thinking that you know everything and that what you're going to hear, it doesn't pertain to you, then it's not going to be a good experience.
No.
Right? You're going to have a chip on your shoulder when they say, maybe, hey, I don't think that's going to work as well as if you try this. It's like, well, try it. What's it going to hurt?
Truth.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's it. I mean, you really have to be open. The person accepting the feedback has to be open to grow.
Right.
And then the other person has to be empathetic to, maybe not cursing or calling names or anything.
No, and I don't think that's what happened. So, we're going to play it back. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty, my zipper was down. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that there was constructive criticism, and it wasn't. They didn't take it oh, okay. And you have to be open to that feedback. You have to be open to it. And a lot of people don't like to be told that the way that they're doing it is maybe it could be done better.
Right. So I would say the two things to do in these situations, because as we coach our team, we should all be coaching our team. But one is preface every kind of meeting, or maybe even just pepper this in every once in a while. Let them know the point of it. Yeah. Right? That the coaching is for us to grow as a team and get better. It has nothing to do with pointing out faults for people.
It's interesting. It makes me think of I went to Business Mastery.
Ooh,
with TR. And one of the things that he does when he's coaching people is he asks for permission to coach you.
Ooh, I love that.
Which is pretty Jedi, right? Now you've just put them into the I'm being coached mode. So you're going to be more open and receptive to what you're hearing. And that's it. He'd say, "Do I have permission to coach you? I want to speak from my heart and really tell you what you need to hear to improve you."
Right.
And it's like, "Oh, okay." Now all of a sudden I think that you're like opened up, right?
Yeah.
Like a flower.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a fantastic coffee talk, and that's an interesting thing to think about as we're we're all coaches being leaders in our
and if team. We're not coaching, do I have permission to coach everybody listening to this right now?
I will answer for them, yes.
Okay. If you're not coaching, then it's something that needs to be done in the agency.
100%.
No matter how much of a veteran the team is, no matter how, in fact, the longer they've been there and not been coached, probably the more they need to be coached.
Words of wisdom from Mr. Craig.
Well, it's just the hundreds of years of living.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's true. You got to listen to him.
Or don't.
And
what do I know? It's a coffee talk.
A coffee talk.